Have you heard of water cooler television? It's not some fancy new streaming buzzword. It is peak office gossip culture from the mid-2000s. Here's the story of its origin. You watch a mind-blowing show at night. It takes over your brain. You can't think about anything else. The next day, you beeline for the water cooler. You and your co-workers break it all down. Plot twists, theories, everything. That's water cooler TV. Think Friends and Game of Thrones. They are the ultimate poster children for this. But TV has since changed. Now we binge an entire series in a day, half watching, half scrolling. So today, water cooler TV just means any show you can't stop talking about. Most platforms have cracked this formula, but one still hasn't. And that is Apple TV Plus. That's Apple's streaming service. It loses $1 billion every year. Why is that? What is Apple doing wrong? And what does it mean for the streaming wars? Apple TV Plus was launched in 2019. Every year it spends about $5 billion on content. Apple has a lot going for it, a roster of A-list talent, some of the highest production values, and a handful of critically acclaimed hits. So on paper, it should be a success story, yet it is losing $1 billion every single year. Why is that? There are a few reasons for this, of course. The first is their marketing strategy. For Apple, it is surprisingly muted. Trailers often drop last minute. Social media campaigns are dull. This fails to generate the much-needed cultural momentum. So that is one problem. The second is an identity problem. You see, most streaming platforms have figured out their niche. You go to Netflix to binge watch. You go to HBO for critically acclaimed shows. What do you go to Apple TV Plus for? Is it prestige TV? Is it family friendly? Is it experimental? No one seems to know. And the last problem is accessibility. Apple TV Plus lacks a strong pull. People aren't subscribing just for it. They're getting it as an afterthought. When they buy an Apple device, Apple TV Plus has 45 million subscribers. Netflix has 300 million. Prime Video has 200 million. So clearly Apple TV Plus is seen as an add-on. And it's not just Apple that is struggling here. Streaming, as we know, has changed in the last few years. Business models have evolved. Viewer preferences have changed. There's more interest in live sports. Regional content is all the rage. So streaming platforms have had to change tack. Again, take Netflix, for example. It used to drop entire seasons at once, but now Netflix is experimenting. There are staggered releases, advertisements, live sports, and a crackdown on password sharing. Netflix is constantly changing the game, and it shows in their numbers. In 2023, it earned $33 billion. It went up to $39 billion in 2024, which is a 15.6% increase in revenue. Then there's Amazon Prime Video. It is commissioning lesser movies and TV shows. It is investing more in live sports. It is chasing broadcasting rights. Customers don't even have to get the full subscription. They can just rent a single movie or just pay for the one TV show that they want to watch. So Prime too is evolving, which is why it hopes to be profitable this year. Then there's Disney Plus. It is going back to the basics. Disney is leaning into core franchises, the likes of Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar. It wants to leverage its intellectual property. Any underperforming content is immediately cancelled. What does all of this tell you? The streaming landscape is shifting. The days of infinite growth are over. Now it is about sustainability and retention. Where does that leave Apple TV Plus? In a streaming landscape where everyone is pivoting, Apple seems stagnant. It has great content but no buzz. A massive budget but no distinct identity. A built-in audience but no urgency to watch, and that is the real problem. Streaming wars are not just about who spends the most money, they're about who commands the most attention. Netflix, Amazon, Disney, they're evolving to stay relevant. Apple may be playing the long game, but if it does not adapt, it may not have a game left to play.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
The Prime Minister Modi.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Alternative to this.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.